Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna discuss the solution of chord forces global round 8. So let's start with problem C. So in problem C, we have to draw a picture using squares, and there are three rules that we have to follow. So the first rule is that the picture should be connected. That is, we can reach from any gray cell to any other gray cell just moving on the gray cells. And the second rule is that each gray cell should have even number of neighbors. And the third rule is that there are exactly n gray cells whose all neighbors are gray cells. So these are the three rules that we have to follow, and we have to draw a picture. Now, how can we do this problem? So the first thing that came into my mind was what would be the solution for n equals to 1. Now what would be the solution for this thing? So I draw a cell and filled it with gray. Now I have to cover this cell with 4 neighboring gray cells. So I made a cell here, a cell here, and here and here. I fill them too. Now the third rule is satisfied. Now come to this second rule, that it should have even number of neighbors. Every cell should have even number of neighbors. So this cell is having only one neighbor, and this also have only one neighbor. So what I can do here is and this also have one neighbor, so I can draw a cell here. So this cell is having two neighbors, this and this. Okay, so let's see. So this cell is having two neighbors, here and here, and this cell also have two neighbors, here and here, and similarly this cell is also having two neighbors, this and this. Now what about these two cells, this and this cell? So what if I draw a cell here? Similarly, these all three cells will have two neighbors. So this can be solution for n equals to 1. Now how to extend this solution? Now to extend this solution, so we have solution for n equals to 1 like this. So this is the solution for n equals to 1. Now what I can do is that I will just, what if I make these three cells here? Now I can see that this cell is fully covered with 4 gray cells, and this also is fully covered with 4 gray cells, and all these cells have 2 neighbors each. So this can be solution for n equals to 2. Now I can extend this further. If I make here this cell and this cell and this cell, now this cell is also covered with 4 neighbors, and all these cells have 2 neighbors. Now this can be solution for n equals to 3. Similarly, I can see that I can extend this to n. So this is the solution for C, guys. Now we can implement it using that we can just store the solution for n and then extend it further. Like if this index is n, I mean this point is let's say x comma y, then this point should be x plus 1 comma y, and this point should be x plus x comma y plus 1, and this point, this should be x plus 1 comma y plus 1. So I can extend my solution like this. So this is the solution for C. Now let's see problem D. So in problem D, we have an array A, A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. So in this problem, we are given one operation. We can choose any two index I and j and make ai equals to ai and aj, and aj equals to ai or aj. Let's see an example. So we have 3 1 3 5. Now let's write these number in binary form: 0 0 1, 0 1 1 and 1 0 1. Now what if I choose this index and this index? What will be my result here? So I have chosen 0 1 1 and 1 0 1. Now I do the OR operation here. So I have 1, and here I have 1, and here also I have 1. And again let's take the AND operation. So I have here 1 0 and 0. So when I was doing this operation, I observed one thing, that the total number of bits, the total number of set bits are not changing here, because let's say these are the 4 ones and we have total bits equals to 1 2 3 and 4. So total bits are not changing, they are just transferring from one number to another number if they can. So here 1 transferred to the second number and it became 0 here. So this was the clue for D. Now I know that the bits are transferring. So how can I solve this problem? So what I'll just do is, I will just make a hash array, and in this array I will store the number of bits for each position: 1 2 0 1 2 3 4 up to 21. For example, here the 0 0 1 0 1 1 and 1 0 1. So total bits here at the 0th position are 3. So at 0 I will store 3. At the first position total bits are 1. So here I will store 1, and total bits at the second position are 1. Now what can I do with this? I will see it in an example. Let's say I have 0 1 0 0 0, and here I have 1 0 0 0 0. Now if I do the OR operation here, I will have 1 1 0 0 0, and after doing the AND operation I will have 0 0 0 0 0. So at first, before I did the operation, the answer for both these number were, let's say this is 2 raised to power k and this is 2 raised to power k plus 1. So the answer was 2 raised to power k whole square and 2 raised to power k plus 1 whole square. So the answer was like this. Now after doing the OR operation, I have here this number became 2 raised to power k plus 2 raised to power k plus 1. Now I have to do the square of this whole thing, and then I'll have 2 raised to power k square plus 2 raised to power 2k plus 1 whole square plus 2 times 2 raised to power k times 2 raised to power k plus 1. So this is the extra term that we are getting here after doing the OR operation. So my intuition was that if I can transfer a bit to a single number, then I will have a greater answer. So after calculating this frequency array, what I will do is, for example, if I am getting frequency array like this, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, let's say this is up to 10, and frequency array is like 4 3 3 2 1 0 3 4, let's say it is 6. Okay, and here I have 4 3. Now what I'll do is, I will take one bit from each of those bits if I can take it. So for the first number I can take one bit from this and one from this, from all of these except this. I can take one from all of these. So my first number will be like 1. I am starting from 10, so 1 1 1 1, so 1 and 0 1 1 1 1 1. So this can be my first number, and after taking this first number I will decrease all these bits by 1. So it becomes 3, it becomes 2 2 1 0, and it remains 0. It becomes 2, it becomes 3 5 3 and 2. And then I'll take second number will be similarly, I'll take one bit from this, one bit from this, if I can take one bit from all of these, and this way I will make all the numbers from 1 to n, and then I will just square them and add them. So this will be my solution for problem D. Now let's see problem A. So in problem A, okay, so we have two numbers A and B, and we can do a operation like plus equal. So if I perform operation on A, plus equal B, here A will become A plus B and B will remain same. And if I do this operation on B, B will become B plus A and A will remain same. So these are the operation that we have to do. Now we have to make any of the numbers strictly greater than n, and we have to do it in minimum number of operation. How can we do this? So my intuition was that if let's say if I am having 1 and 3, now I will show you two cases. If I add 1 plus equal 3, and otherwise if I add 3 plus equal 1. Now if I do this operation, I will have two numbers, one will be 4 and other will be 3, and here I will have 4 and 1. Now I can clearly see that if I add the number in the smaller number. If I change the smaller number, I have better chances of getting number n. So to make the to get minimum number of operation, what I have to do is I have to change the smaller number. So if a is greater than b, I'll just swap a and b, and then I will do operations like this. And after doing each operation, I will swap a and b, and then again I will do this operation, and I will run this loop while a is less than equal to n or b is less than equal to n. Here will come AND. So my final algorithm will be while a is less than equal to n and b is less than equal to n, I will do a plus equals b and swap a and b. And in each iteration I will increase my count. Initially my count is 0. So this is the solution for problem A. Now let's see problem B. So in problem B, okay, we are given a number k and we have to form at least k code forces subsequences with shortest string possible. So for example, if k equals to 1, then our shortest string would be simply code forces, and if k equals to 2, it will be, it can be anything, but let's take this. And if k equals to 3, it can be like C, C, O, O, D, E. So it has total 4 subsequences of code forces, because here I can have 2 options and here also I can have 2 options. So 2 multiplied with 2 equals to 4. Now how can I do this problem? So this is the clue. If I take multiple characters, I can just multiply them. So I will get here 4 subsequences. Similarly, if we are given any k, what I will do is I will take the frequency of C, O, D. I'll take frequency of all of these nearly equal, because then only I will have minimum length string. So let's say if we are given k equals to 7, then what I'll do is I will have a frequency array where frequency of I denotes count of character I from string equals to code forces. So the algorithm to do this problem is like I will have answer initialized to 1. So while answer is less than k, what I'll do is I will initialize my I equals to 0, and here while answer is less than k and I is less than, the length of the string is I think 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10. So the length here is 10. So while I is less than equals to 10, what I'll do is I will change my answer to answer divided by count of I, and then I will increase my count and then again I will multiply my answer with this count, and then I will increase my I. And after this while loop I will have frequency of I minus frequency of j less than equal to 1. So they will be nearly equal and they can have a difference of at most 1. So this will be the solution for problem B. So that's it for this video guys. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.